Dear God, what did I even try back then? It's bad enough I even thought of revisiting this. Well, might as well finish what I started. Crap, dip battery. Wait, what the hell is that? Oh God! Never mind, let's just... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my nightmares. Now, I don't remember all that much on how I started playing games. All I remember was asking my parents for a Game Boy Advance without even knowing what actual Nintendo games were in general. And then soon after I got the upgraded model of the console we called the SP. Too bad it's a piece of shit right now. Poor girl, I'll get you fixed one day. Even then though, the SP came in a bundle with 3 games. One of them was the one we're talking about today. I forgot what the third one was, and the second one was... Oh God, get it away! But enough about my personal shit. Let's talk about this. Christ, what have I done? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Turok Evolution. The Game Boy Advance version. But before we begin, how about a little bit of history? Acclaim. This fucking logo will forever haunt me every time I see anything with this logo. The way this company even exists, it puts absolute fear into my heart every time I see it. The reason why this company even exists in the first place? Atari. Apparently, the story goes as such. One day, there was a disagreement in Atari. I mean, the video game crash has already proved that. But the employees were getting no profits from games nor any credit at all. Afterwards, several people, including David Crane, who'd later go on to make Pitfall, Little Computer People, A Boy and His Blob, yeah, those games. Wait, what the fuck is Little Computer? Anyways, Crane in particular found out that the games similar to the ones he made profited in $20 million, and his salary was still $20,000. So he soon decided to leave with a couple of other people and found Activision during the lifespan of the Atari 2600. Too bad about that founding, since this was 4 years before the American video game crash, and once that hit, Nintendo decided to pick up the pieces in the US and rebuild the gaming market. Which brings us back to some of the guys Activision employed. Greg Fishback, Robert Holmes, and Jim Skorbolski. At this point, Fishback, noticing this new thing Nintendo was sending to America, immediately called the others to set up a new company, Acclaim. Also, looking back at some of the research and help I got, the names for both Activision and Acclaim were chosen as such due to the companies being alphabetically first in business listings, just so that they could get noticed first. Also, the fact that Accolade was formed from ex-Activision employees to... Christ, circle jerk, shit publishers. Anyways, after some years and acquiring a game studio later, they developed Turok in 1997, a first-person shooter involving a man fighting his way through hordes of dinosaurs to kick the ass of one campaigner. And on the note about first-person shooters, even though they're not my cup of action, some that can hook me extremely well with what they can present. Whether it's about the movement, the shooting, the damage, the flow of everything you're doing on the screen. If you provide a decent or memorable experience, you've got me hooked.
Freaking car stop!
Too bad about this fucking 2002 cartridge. You think they'd be able to put an FPS on a handheld? I mean, Doom got a Game Boy Advance port, which I never played, but the fact that they did it was amazing. Then you start to think, do these developers have the same sort of thought into making something similar? I mean, it's the GBA for Christ's sake. Doom got away with it because it's all sprites. So instead of that, we got a run and gun game. For the fucking prequel game to Turok. I would say that was a dumb move on Acclaim's end, but they did much worse during the time Evolution was even in development or release at all to begin with. So hey, let's just start, shall we? Alright then, time to check the options first, and oh. That's a bad sign already when all you have is a picture option, 2 difficulty selects which are normal and pro, and the end credits. Fuck it, we're doing this game on normal, it's torture enough as is. And fuck your credits, I'll take them once I beat this damn game. Now, note the fact that once you start the game, you have a choice between a 1 player and 2 players, which is great, but that means you need the GBA link cable. And who the fuck has that nowadays? Also, no, I'm not going to even try showing multiplayer footage. None exists whatsoever. Who the fuck would want to play this game with me? I mean, I would say get the wireless connector, but that came late into the GBA's lifespan. Most games were programmed with it in mind. Anyways, let's start a new game up and pick Talset, because this might as well be his game. I'll explain what the continue system is later. But for now, time to kick Bruckner's ass back to the land he destroyed. And die a lot. I really wish that was a joke, Okay, never mind, let's just start with the game proper. First with the story. Simply put, you are... Okay, I'm afraid to pronounce this wrong. Talset? Talset, oh, okay, yeah, sure, Talset. You are Talset. Turok. Well, not yet, actually, since this is the prequel. Well, technically an alternate story of the prequel, but we'll get into that in a couple of seconds. The year is 1886 on Earth, and your whole tribe, the Sacred Nation, has been wiped out by Tobias Bruckner and his cavalry. As the only survivor, Talset decides to square off with Bruckner and cuts off his right arm before they both fly off a nearby cliff. Well, in the original console version anyways. Either way, they get flung into a portal that sends it into the Lost Land. Yeah, the Lost Land. Sure. Listen, I know the game screen right now is saying Lost Lands, but then again, it really doesn't matter. The research I find for this could barely even exist. Anyways, Talset gets stranded in the Lost Land for a bit until running into the River People and gets word of Bruckner setting up another army. So he, along with the River People's greatest warrior, oh, for fuck's sake. Either way, Talset and June go off into the Lost Lands to get rid of Bruckner once and for all. A simple plot for a simple game. Also note the fact that all the story cutscenes, and I mean the intro, level transition, and ending are all presented in still images with text. Compared to other games released at the time, it is a bit shoddy, but even then, most third-party titles were like this. Still perfectly fine though, as it does show the current predicament Talset is in. Also, good thing that we can talk about a playable June in the campaign itself, who I'll demonstrate for a bit right now, along with the basic control scheme. For a run-and-gun game, you have the basics: move, shoot, jump, and D-pad aiming. In 4 directions. 4 directions. While Metroid Fusion released a month and a half earlier with 8-way aiming. God, I'm trying to like this game, but it keeps taking a shit on my consciousness! Technically, both Talset and June have the same movement, aim system, and guns. Their difference comes in their melee weapons and their hitboxes, because June's a tall man. Well, a few pixels taller, but still. The melee weapon is their real difference though. For Talset, he has his war club. Oh wait, never mind, GBA version, he just has a standard hatchet. While Jun has his energy hook, which can be best described by the manual as a cross between a buzzsaw and a yo-yo. Too bad about these pictures in the manual though, they're ripped straight from the console release and they look nothing like each other. I mean, look at Talset in these 2 pictures, they look nothing alike. Anyways, the energy hook, an interesting weapon for the bigger character in this game, as it allows him to hang from ceilings and rock back and forth with it to reach new heights. There's a big problem regarding that though, and I'll get to it once we can get to the game prior. But for now, the basic mechanics for the melee weapons are they have a charged attack and you can aim then in any direction while charging. Oh, I guess you can aim in 8 directions, but it's specifically tied to a goddamn melee weapon. Fuck's sake. Thankfully, to circumvent this, Talset's charge attack allows him to shoot a magical axe that does this. Beautiful. And Jun's energy hack has this effect too, with a faint disguise of a ranged melee weapon. One double-edged sword I could add to the melee weapons is that when charging, you immediately stand still since you're allowed 8-way aiming. A sort of decent workaround, but this gets even more limited once we can properly, and I mean properly, get into the game. So here's the first level. I will say that this game nails a few things well for a run and gun. The backgrounds are well detailed to convey the level situation, and character sprites aren't that bad to be honest. Movement isn't really that bad either, well, for the normal stages anyway. Seems like there's a bit of weight you can feel on the characters while pressing the D-pad, but it's still solid. Shooting works as well as it should too, minus the aiming problems I mentioned earlier. The aiming isn't that bad, but with what enemies they want you to focus on, we'll go into detail with that later. For now, time to shoot some soldiers, which has a nice flow to them and... Wait. Hang on, play that again. That's your fucking knife sound? Good lord, that sounds like a non-range melee attack. You did the same thing Two Worlds did! On a fucking Game Boy Advance! Anyways, back in the game, you're having fun shooting the opposition with your infinite ammo pistol and your melee weapon, but let's take a note at another thing, infinite respawning soldiers! Yeah, and for a small side note, the soldiers can do a multitude of things. Either walk around, crouch, or... reload? What the fuck? Shoot! Shank. I mean... thrust. Or throw a grenade straight out of Meadow sword. The problem with these guys though isn't on what they can do, it's more of the respawning issue. This game won't make you sit still whatsoever. Not only because of this, but what will happen later on in this game. So we're comfortably as the game can allow, mowing down enemies left and right, and then you notice a bit early into the stage, they give you a temporary weapon that grants invincibility for a short amount of time. A timer on a weapon. Honestly, not that bad, just wanting you to learn the game. Well, I guess that's time to advance further. What the fuck? No, what even god damn fuck! Yeah, now the game decided to stop pulling punches right then and there. And I really would like to commemorate on how well the developers, not Iguana Studios, but instead RFX Interact. Who the fuck is RFX Interactive? Oh, just some random GBA third-party outsourced developers? Alright, sure. Anyways, I would say that they did a good job, but I think it was too good of a job. The Velociraptor there was a taste for what's to come, and you have to fight it 3 times. Yes, 3 times! Within the first level. Most of the non-human enemies are a pain in the ass. And within my scrambled segues, I forgot to mention that the game consists of 5 levels and each one is divided into sections. 4 to be exact, with 1 being the boss and levels 2 to 4 having secret levels you can uncover. I only have footage for one of them, and even then the secret message they give you is kind of nice. Life is kinda cool sometimes. What's not cool though is that each level transition is your checkpoint. Die at any part of the segment and you have to start the segment all over with a continue. Thankfully, you have unlimited continues, but the deaths you'll encounter are too frequent to the point where the game seems to be trial and error. Which, going back to the difficult shit they try to get you to do, seems to be that way. Now combine that with the GBA screen crunch issues and bastards you try to stunlock as much as you can, and you have to stunlock them, and you made yourself a roller coaster of a difficulty curve filled to the brim with gotcha moments. What makes it worse is your health. That red bar you see in the left hand corner of the video takes 2 to 3 hits to kill you. Classic Acclaim shit. Low health and a password system. A password system! It's fucking 2002! How in God's name? Anyways, your health is abysmal, and the only way you can increase your health is by armor, which acts like Doom armor, in which a percentage of the armor damage you take is taken right out of your health to help soften attacks. To help you visualize an idea how fucked this game is, here's me dying to every non-human enemy in this game. Now for two more overarching mechanics and one more problem with the enemies that the game has before I talk about the rest of these levels. For some reason, there's no contact damage in this game, which is sort of a relief, but then this game takes it a bit further and adds a bump mechanic, in which you and an enemy can accidentally collide with each other and do a shove of some sorts. Great for another source of stun lock if and when you can get away with it, and believe me, once we get to the last problem this game has, you might as well. And as our last mechanic, the boss levels, and some of, if not all the secret levels, play out in these gallery shooting levels. Not too bad either. I wish the character movement wasn't as stiff as it is now, just so that we're allowed to aim with the sudden crosshair we get to aim at enemies in the foreground before they either jump onto your plane, at which most times you can easily kill them with a context-sensitive melee attack, or shoot at you from said foreground. Also not bad as boss levels, besides maybe the first boss, this tank and this lizard sorcerer, but I wish that some of the run and gun levels had a boss variation as well. Then again, I'd rather not, just because of how much pain the main levels are. The level layout is still nice though, I say without knowing fuck all about Turok in general. But from a jungle plane, into a nighttime war zone, into an abandoned factory which leads to a train station, up to a luscious jungle and canyon duo, into a rainforest mountaintop duo with disarray, too much disarray I might add, leading to a temple-esque factory which is actually a space elevator towards the headquarters of Lord Tyrannus. Alright, I forgot about the other entity that joins forces with Bruckner once he's in the Lost Lands. Then again, I really don't care at this point. I just want them all dead. But the transitions and the level layouts are both smooth. The hazards laid out throughout the levels too are aplenty and great to keep you on your toes too. Too bad about the progression though. And to note the game's progression, the weapons. Once you pick up a different weapon, you'll automatically switch to said weapon and have the chance to use it alongside its limited ammo. You can also manually switch between weapons using the shoulder buttons. Like I mentioned earlier, you have a pistol and a melee option, but soon you'll get an SMG and later a flamethrower. Yeah, you get a flamethrower before getting a shotgun in this game, who have decent power. The SMG at 200 ammo has a burst round of 3 shots with each press of the button, and the flamethrower, I mean, great damage, but shit ammo. Only 70? And that's only the beginning. Soon you'll encounter the shotgun, which has a nice punch for the range it can muster, which is more than the flamethrower, but is criminally set to 20 shells. 20! For a fucking shotgun! And this pattern keeps repeating itself with some of the other guns too. The minigun is basically a powered up SMG with only 100 ammo, the rocket launcher being, well, a rocket launcher with only 14 rockets when you pick it up, and then the laser gun.
Laser.
Yeah, sure, which has 30 ammo and looks like you're shooting a peanut that pierces through enemies extremely well. On top of this, all of your weapons besides your melee option have stronger alien variants too. Here's some footage of said weapons. Too bad all these weapons have shit ammo pools. And these are the max ammo counts I've been saying. You can't go any higher unless you access a My Core cheat in the passwords menu that doubles each ammo pool. You can only refill ammo by picking up the corresponding weapon again, or finding an ammo pickup that looks like an ice cube tray but replenishes a small quantity of ammo for all your... What the fuck? And on the topic of pickups, let's talk about the stars you can find in some of the levels. These are your screen nukes. One of the filler texts in the game even hints to it. By pressing both shoulder buttons simultaneously, you'll call your guardian angel Mayana, who does jack fucking shit and I die instantly. Thanks, you bitch! Shoots an arrow towards the sky, instantly killing any weaker enemies on screen. And that leads into another problem. Even when you're fully equipped, you're still ill-equipped. Dangerously. This game might as well be a pistol speedrun that the game forced you on. And that's so fun whenever that happens. And adding to that, sometimes the game gives you either too much to handle, questionable enemy and level design, and so much trial and error to the point where I decided to avoid fights in the latter parts of the game and just speed run my way through just to get to Bruckner and to stop with his bullshit. So let's go deal with that. First thing, the jungle into the war zone. Been there, done that. The boss is a blob monster you kill by overloading electric currents into him. Fine. Second, the subway station into a train loaded with nuclear weapons, which we stop, and then confront Bruckner in a tank. Third, the Canyon Jungle Rapids mixture ending in another Bruckner fight with him on a goddamn Tyrannosaurus, firing at you with a mountain Gatling gun, which is piss easy once you figure out his firing pattern. Fourth is the darkened, raining Mountain Thompson, which you were sent into the space elevator while saving the river people's elder. I mean, he's an innocent bystander who helped Talset recoup for a bit, so we might as well. And then we ride the space elevator into a boss fight with Tyrannus' right-hand magician Genzamon, in which fuck Genzamon! He stalls the fight so much that I want to fuck it! And then we raid Tyrannus' fortress to take him head on. And the motherfucker is huge! Unlike the console versions. But whatever, first we... Oh fuck, right off! Anyways, the Tyrannus fight proper. Hit his head by jumping while shooting at it and avoid his easy firing pattern. Once he's done, time for the last Bruckner rematch on the Tyrannosaurus. Easy, he's done too. Fuck this. Ugh. Once you finish up Bruckner, you have the choice to finish him or not. Wait, he didn't lose his right arm? Anyways, the original ending of the console version state that Talset doesn't give him a warrior's death and leaves him be to suffer against dinosaurs, so we might as well do so while claiming our title as Turok. Wait, instead, Bruckner becomes such a sore loser that he commits suicide by grenade? What? At least we still got the title of Turok, but I can't imagine what the kill ending would be like. Well, time to cheat with the password system and warp to the final boss with my core. So here's the kill choice, and we don't even see the kill happening and get text saying that Talset's trial has been avenged with him gaining the title as Turok. Fuck you, game, just fuck you. My nightmares are finally over. I was dreading the day I would have to return to beat this game, but even with all of its bullshit, I immediately enjoyed all the good aspects while playing it. As a shoot 'em up, it tries to keep its Turok-esque shooter mentality of 90s FPS gameplay and difficulty, which I felt was translated well, but far too well. It can, and has in my case, wreck you apart before you come to terms with the game via trial and error. And that's not even accounting the GBA screen crunch screwing you over. Overall, the game is really a roller coaster in what it tries to do. You'll have some ups, you'll have some downs, but if you make the best of it, then that's all that really matters. Should you even try this game out? I can give you a solid maybe. I'd say try it out if you're a fan of the Turok series, if you can find it in general. Prices for this game on eBay tend to range between $7 to $30. On that note, I better get back to working on the Let's Play channel.